Don't buy Bitcoin on Robinhood. Okay guys, so let's get right into this topic. I wanted to make this really important video because I know a lot of you guys, if you guys live in the United States, you probably have heard of the Robinhood app. It's a really popular investing app, and I used to use the app as well, although I stopped using it as of recently. I used to use it to trade stocks and things like that. But here's why I say you should never buy Bitcoin on Robinhood. So this is a really important video. So if you guys like Bitcoin and you like money, please smash the subscribe button and hit that thumbs up as well. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. So let's get right into it, guys. Why you shouldn't buy Bitcoin on Robinhood. For the number one reason is that Robinhood is terrible customer service, guys. Robinhood is some of the worst customer service in the entire industry. If you guys are familiar with the whole GameStop and AMC saga, where they basically froze people's accounts, wouldn't let you buy things and stuff like that, you know, people have left customer service complaints and they haven't been answered for weeks or months. It's just non-existent. It's just not really, in my opinion, a good app for buying cryptocurrencies. So that's the number one reason, is the customer service is just terrible. You know, obviously you don't need customer services, everything's going well, but the second you have a problem, you want to, you know, talk to someone or send an email and get a fast reply. And the fact that Robinhood just takes forever to reply, sometimes they just don't even reply. So that's the number one reason, guys. Robinhood customer service is terrible. The second reason is that your Bitcoin is not really treated as property. So one of the problems I have with the app like Robinhood is that they treat Bitcoin like a stock. So, for example, you know, a lot of people say, hey, Tyrick, what do you mean Bitcoin is property? Well, guys, Bitcoin is like digital gold, right? So if you guys have a gold coin or any type of silver coin or whatever, that's not really considered a stock, right? It doesn't have earnings. It doesn't file reports. It doesn't have employees. It's considered a property, right? It's considered like your computer or your cell phone. It's something you hold and you hold alone, and no one else owns that. So if you have one Bitcoin, that Bitcoin belongs to you entirely. So here's the problem with buying Bitcoin on an app like Robinhood. You don't really own the Bitcoin. What you do is you own like some sort of derivative, and Robinhood is purchasing the crypto through a third-party clearinghouse, right? So let's say, you know, you buy Bitcoin at like, I don't know, right now, let's say Bitcoin's trading like $56,000, or $56,000, right, USD. Let's say Bitcoin goes to $100,000 and you're like, wow, Bitcoin went up a lot, but I don't want to sell it. I want to transfer it to a cold wallet, right? Or I want to transfer the Bitcoin on Robinhood to, you know, my own personal wallet on my cell phone or something like that. You can't do it. You have to like sell the Bitcoin on Robinhood, then take the proceeds from the sale and then transfer that money to a place like Coinbase and then buy the Bitcoin. And the reason is that when you buy Bitcoin through Robinhood, you don't really own it. Who owns the Bitcoin is Robinhood in this third-party clearinghouse. So you just don't want to have to force to sell your Bitcoin, because if you make a profit on Bitcoin, you're supposed to report those gains if you sell as capital gains taxes. So number one, you're going to open yourself up to capital gains taxes. And number two, you're going to have to sell just to move your crypto. Whereas, for instance, if you buy it on Coinbase, you can transfer it to Trust Wallet. You can transfer your Bitcoin to any other crypto exchange. You can send it anywhere you want. You don't have to sell it. So that's just really important that, you know, Robinhood doesn't treat Bitcoin as property. It treats it as like a stock. So the third reason why you shouldn't buy Bitcoin, especially the reason why you shouldn't buy Bitcoin on Robinhood is because the Robinhood app doesn't really give you on Bitcoin. So what do I mean by that? You're going to make the most money in crypto by holding for a long period of time. If you guys are familiar with the kind of the iconic Bitcoin story on how the first transaction, a guy traded 10,000 Bitcoin for two pizzas, right? So the transaction at that time, the Bitcoin, 10,000 Bitcoins was worth like, how much is two pizzas? Like $10, $15? So that was like 10 years ago, right? So that was back in 2011. That would be about 10 years ago. So at that time, Bitcoin was basically, you know, worth under $1. So for people that maybe had Bitcoin for like $1 and then they sold it at $1,000, they've missed out on potentially being a multimillionaire. You know, some people could have been billionaires if they had held on to their 10,000 or 20,000 Bitcoin in the beginning. And the problem with Robinhood is that Robinhood, once again, it treats everything in its app like a stock. It's constantly giving you information on selling and trading and stuff like that. Bitcoin is not like that, right? Bitcoin is like a Picasso painting. It's like a gold bar. It's something that you want to buy and hold, preferably for the rest of your lifetime, and maybe even give to your kids and your grandkids. It's not something that you really want to like see as a stock, right? So if you see a stock like Google stock or Apple stock or Amazon stock, sure, you can trade it and things like that, because there's no fixed supply on stocks, right? The company can increase the outstanding shares anytime they want. They can offer more shares. They can do stock splits, all of these different things, right? And these companies are controlled by human beings. Human beings make errors. So, let's say the people at Amazon, after Jeff Bezos steps down, they ruin the company and Amazon loses half its value and another e-commerce company takes market share. All of these things can happen with stocks, but not with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, there's a fixed amount supply of around 21 million coins, and that's all that'll ever be minted. No one can come in and ruin Bitcoin or anything like that. It's decentralized. So you want to really have a longer term perspective, and I just think a lot of people on Robinhood, they are very short term thinkers, and they're trying to constantly profit from buying and selling, and you just don't want to do that. You want to basically buy Bitcoin, you hold it, you wait for the top of the bull cycle, you sell it, you wait for the bottom of the bear cycle, you buy it, and rinse and repeat. You don't trade in and out of it. If you're going to do that, then you need to use a platform like Bybit where you can trade with leverage, but you shouldn't probably be trading with your personal Bitcoin unless you have a ton of it and you really are trying to make money off the price moves. But even then, you should just probably use Bybit when you use leverage. And the fourth reason you shouldn't use Robinhood is guys at Robinhood, they're just not really, I don't think Robinhood is a really great company, guys. I think Robinhood, it basically doesn't really care about their users. I think they just care about their clients. Most of these are hedge funds and that buy data. So when you use the Robinhood app, when the product is free, you are the product. So Robinhood is basically selling your trading data to third parties so they can make money off the bid and ask spread. So for example, let's say you wanted to buy Bitcoin at like $57,000. Before that trade goes in, Robinhood is going to tell a third party that you plan to make a trade at $57,000 and allow the third party to basically buy it a little bit cheaper and sell it to you more expensive. So they're just like, Robinhood doesn't really care about its users, they care about their clients. And that's what the whole GameStop saga that basically told us, that Robinhood doesn't really care about its users. The Robinhood CEO, the guy, I don't think he's a really nice guy. I just think he cares about taking the company public. And I don't really like supporting companies like that treat their users like that. So me personally, I've cashed out all the money in my Robinhood account. I basically just use Coinbase and BlockFi to buy my Bitcoin. You guys are like in Asia or something like that, you guys can check out Binance, some other exchanges like Whitebit. But I don't use Robinhood at all to buy Bitcoin. I just think it's a terrible idea. And the fifth and the final reason that I think it's really not a good idea to buy Bitcoin through Robinhood is buying on the bid and ask spread. So whenever you're using some of these free trading apps, normally if you're going to buy Bitcoin, you're going to pay fees. So for example, Coinbase, you're going to pay a fee. They don't charge you on the bid and the ask. They simply, let's say I want to buy $10 of Bitcoin. If I buy it through regular Coinbase, I'm going to pay like $1. If I buy it through Bitcoin, Coinbase Pro, I'll pay like 25 cents for the trade, right, on a $10 worth of Bitcoin. Coinbase doesn't care about the bid or the ask. But because Robinhood is free, you're end up going to pay more for your Bitcoin. So it's not really free. You're actually paying a fee. It's just that you're just paying more. So if Coinbase says the Bitcoin is at 57K, you're going to pay 57K, if that's what the market price is. But what Robinhood is going to do is going to bump up your price a little bit. So it might not be 57,000, and you might end up paying 57,200 or 57,300. It's just ridiculous. Nothing's free in this world. You're always paying for it by getting worse fills. When you do market orders, your fills are much higher and things like that. Your limit orders on Robinhood are less likely to go through. Sometimes they will even liquidate your positions for you without telling you. If you guys are buying on margin and they want to do a margin call, they'll liquidate your account. There's been horror stories with Robinhood, so I really don't recommend anyone use them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video about why I don't recommend buying Bitcoin on Robinhood. So if you enjoyed my content, guys, please smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. And be sure, if you're really interested and you're based in the US and you want to buy Bitcoin, I would really highly recommend Coinbase. Use Coinbase Pro to avoid the fees. And if you sign up using the referral link in the description below, you'll receive $10 in free Bitcoin when you deposit $100. Or if you guys are watching this on Roku, you can go to tyreekpierce.com/Coinbase. So that's it until next time, guys. Take care.